welcome to the last session on hands for those 2 days. And during those sessions, I wanted to show you the EVM sidechain. So this is what Marco was talking about in great details earlier. And I really want to show you what I know. My knowledge is limited, but I want to transmit to you what I know, what I've been able to grasp during those last weeks, actually, because it's very new. And then we'll see some. I think that's another cool tool to explore. So we saw XUMM Wallet this morning, and we will see as well how you interact with it, how you send payments with the wallet. So, and let's see. We'll see also as well at the end of the session if we have more time to do more things. But let's see what time allows us. All right. So the EVM sidechain, so that allows us to create smart contracts using Solidity. And I think many of you are already familiar with the Ethereum world and Solidity, right? And most of you are probably better than me at Solidity development. But what I've been testing, what I've seen during my test on the EVM sidechain, it allows you to use XRP actually as the native currency, right, on the sidechain. So instead of being ETH, you would have XRP. And what I mean is it's cheap. We are using the same protocol behind, so it's very cheap. The transactions are 0.00 something XRP. And it's also very fast. We'll see that the transactions are happening very, very fast. So like Marco said, that's on the sidechain, which is different from the main chain. Currently, we are still in development, and the sidechain, the EVM sidechain is connected, is breached with the DevNet. All right, so if you remember the Faucet website that opened before, we have testnet, DevNet. That's the one we could use for this interaction with the EVM sidechain. What I'm going to show you later exactly, we will not even have to create a faucet there because the tool we'll use will create it for us. But we'll see that later. That's what I wanted to tell you. It's connected to DevNet for now. And so we can breach currency using the XLS38D standard that Marco also mentioned before. That's still being developed. I think they want to merge that standard in the main branch in a few weeks. And then there will need to be an amendment for the protocol, for the standard to be adopted and used on the mainnet. So what I want to say is that things can change, right? There can still maybe be some issues. What I'm saying today might not be true in 3 weeks, 2 months, I don't know. This is really in development. That's what I've learned. That's what I want to transmit to you. So take all of this in with a pinch of salt. And let's explore what we can do so far. So we are going to need Metamask. Do you all have Metamask? All good here. We can move on to the next step, which will be the connection to the EVM sidechain. So we need to, so we have like different networks. We have the mainnet and we have other test network. So we need to add the new one, which is the EVM sidechain network, and that's what we're going to do right now. So go to this drop down here, and I think maybe right now it might be on the left side with maybe the new version. So just expand to have all the networks, and you should find the Add Network button. Tell me when you found it. Click on Add a New Network. And maybe let me do it as well in my Metamask. So actually, yeah, so it's on the top left now, sorry. So maybe there has been a new version released recently. So go there and add a new network. Okay, when you click on that, you should arrive on that page where you can find some popular custom networks. Is everyone on that page? Yeah? Yes? Good? Good? Yeah? All right. There, that's the fun arrives. You click on Add a Network manually at the bottom. the network manually, and here you can enter the name, the RPC URL, chain ID, currency symbol, etc. So I'm going to give you that information right now. Cool. So enter that. The name, you can write whatever you want. The RPC, RPC-EVM, etc. So again, that sidechain is being built by Persist. And hi to everyone at Persist who is watching this video. Currency symbol XRP. The Explorer is optional, but we can also enter that information there. This sidechain is using XLS38D, the standard 38D that Marco mentioned before, and I can show you the website. So if you type XRPLF XLS38D, you should arrive on the discussion. So that's one proposal that has been written by some of our colleagues, and this is still in development. This is, again, the standard to move assets between the main chain and the side chain. So as I said at the beginning, we are expecting this feature to be merged in the main branch in a few weeks. And then we need the amendment. So the amendment means that the validator, 80% of the validators needs to say, yes, we want these features during 2 weeks. So it's hard to tell you an ETA right now. But this is the process we need to have before we can have the sidechain the EVM sidechain on the mainnet, right? And again, because it's still in development, things can change, so we'll see. My plan is also to share all those slides in the repo after the session, so you have all of them. So yeah, you can after that do like a pool, and you should have all the slides. All right. Next step is really, I think, where it starts to become a bit exciting, is where we'll have some XRP in our Metamask. So we need to transfer XRP from the DevNet to the sidechain. And for that, so again, Persist, our partner, they built a UI that utilizes the standard in the background to bridge that currency. So there will be XRP locked on the DevNet and released on the sidechain, and you will see them appearing in your Metamask. All right, so go to that URL, witness-evm-sidechain persist.tech. All right, everyone is there, so let me go to that website as well. Okay, so this is the interface. And we need to, so usually when you have like a Web3 app using Metamask, you have connect your wallet. So here we need to do 2 connections, one to the DevNet and one to the EVM sidechain using Metamask. So the first one here, connect Faucet wallet, that will be connecting to the DevNet, and that's an automatic process. Okay, we don't have to go to the Faucet page that I showed you earlier to generate credentials and put it there. In a previous version, that's what I had to do, but today I know they are doing it in the background. So if we click there on the Connect Faucet wallet on the top right, that should automatically create an account for us funded with 10,000 XRP. And we'll see, we'll have like a green dot after that connected. Okay, so let's try. Let's see. You see, we are generating an XRPL account with funds for you. That's doing it in the background using the DevNet. So do it. You will see the connected to and the address, the green dot. All good? It works? Works? So for now, I think it's like they are caching it in the local storage. Or I'm not sure what they are doing exactly, because again, that's Persist was building it, and I'm not sure about the code. But if we go to application, let's see, you have the local storage, witness, and you have, yeah, you see the private keys here. So yeah, it's really for like to explain. It's really for development purposes, really to showcase how to use it, but it's not production ready. I think we cannot use that at all for production. Okay, so that's the private key of the account there. There. All good? Technically, you could integrate a XUMM wallet. It's just you need to change the code and do something similar to what we did in the previous session. But here, I think they just went with the faucet. That's easier for them, you know, because the point for them is really to work on the bridge, and that's why I think maybe XUMM wallet wasn't very necessary here. And potentially, no, I know why as well, is that probably XUMM wallet doesn't support yet the cross-chain transaction types that are required for bridging. Yeah, also that's like, I think, a main reason. You know, so transaction type, we have payment, account set, NF token mint, like all of this. Let me show you. Those are the transaction type, and I think when the XRX38D standard will be approved, we'll have their new transaction called cross-chain something. So that will appear there, and we'll be able to bridge. I know there are code snippets to do that already. I can share that with you later. I haven't tried them myself, but it's potentially doable to do it by line of code like we did in session 1 yesterday. All right, so let's go back to presentation here. Now we need to connect the MetaMask. Okay, so we'll use the account we created. And for those who already have MetaMask, what I suggest you to do, let me go back to the bridge. Where's the bridge? Help me to find the bridge. This one here. This one here. Okay. So what I did is that I had my main account. You see, I have my main account here, which has a lot of ETH on the mainnet. I'm joking, but so I didn't want to use the main account, the same address on the EVM sidechain. So I created another account specifically for the EVM DevNet. Why I did that? Because I also tried with Hardhat, you know, to deploy a smart contract with Hardhat, and you need the private key for that. Well, in my knowledge, so I didn't want to export the private key of my main account containing the ETH I have there. So that's why I created another account and I export that private key instead. So that's an advice I give you. Some people who are more Solidity experts can maybe tell us, but I suggest you to create another account if you have a main one already. All right. So let's connect, then once you have selected your account you're sure you want to use with the EVM sidechain, let's connect the MetaMask wallet. You should have this pop-up appearing and you select the account you want to connect. Let's connect. And then we have the two accounts connected, okay? And we can start using the interface on the center. Make sure at the top that you have the XRPL DevNet address, starting with an R, and at the bottom, the EVM sidechain address, starting with 0x in hexadecimal. And then, so because we have 10,000 XRP in our DevNet, we can send, so this faucet only gives us 1,000, so we will only be able to send a little bit less. But let's say, for example, I want to send 300 XRP. I enter the amount there. I click on transfer. We need to approve the transactions. Many things are being done in the background. Signing the transaction, there is a lock on the DevNet, and then the funds should be released. But here we see the XRP sending signature was cancelled or it was invalid. Sorry?
I have the same problem.
You have the same problem? All right, well, let me try again. Let's see in the console if there are some bugs. Let me know if for someone it's successful. Successful?
Yes.
Yeah, works. Let me try again with a smaller amount, maybe 100. Trying again with 100 XRP.
Do you have to do anything else than click the button? Because for me,
I don't think you have to. Okay, well now it seems, no, the XRP signature was cancelled, it was invalid. Again. Same thing for you?
I just have to retry it.
Ah, you have to retry? Okay. Well, let me try again. There's an issue somewhere. Let's keep trying. Can you tell me for whom it has worked? Okay, we have many people. Yeah, good, good. Let me try to refresh the page, maybe.
you have to refresh the page, I think.
Let me try. I refreshed. Transfer. Confirm.
For me, it's work.
It has worked?
Yes, I was from XRPL to EVM, but when I switch the network, I don't have the signature with Metamask.
I haven't tried yet to do the reverse transaction, actually. So what I wanted really to show you is to get XRP into the sidechain for now. So, okay, so that looks better. The transaction is processing. Okay, the transaction has been sent. So I refreshed my browser. So, done. And if we now go to the Metamask, tokens, 735 XRP. I think I'm not sure at the beginning. I don't think I had so many XRP, so maybe some transaction happened in the background also.
Yeah, some of them worked, yeah. Because I transferred 300 and I have 398.99.
Okay. I don't know. Yes, some. Yeah, but in the EVM sidechain, there is nothing. That's in the EVM sidechain, then the Ethereum address. Okay, so as for someone it hasn't worked, or it's okay for everyone? It works for you, Joa? Yes. Yeah? All good? Yeah? Okay, so now you can see we have some XRP in Metamask, which I think is pretty cool. So we can go ahead and start deploying some smart contracts and use XRP as the currency. So let me go back to my slides quickly, see if I didn't forget anything. Yeah, that's the bridging, and we have XRP there. So what we can try to do now, let's go to Remix. Who is familiar with Remix here? Yeah, many of you? Yeah, okay. Okay. So I can accept. Next. Next. Done. So this is like an IDE that allows people to create smart contracts and easily deploy them to the networks of their choice. You can do that as well with other tools like Hardhat, but I think Remix is a very good IDE for beginners or even maybe people experimented who want to develop smart contracts and use MetaMask as the way to deploy smart contract. So let's try to create a contract, and you can, I mean, those people who also experimented, you can create like a complex contract, but we have storage here. So we can try to compile this one. So I clicked on Control S, or you can go to this tab compilation on the left, compile one storage. And then the fourth tab is where you can deploy. So I think in the environment on the top, we need to choose injected provider MetaMask. We need to connect MetaMask if it's not connected yet. And then we can deploy. So once you have, has everyone done that? To compile the smart contract, in there, select in the environment the injected provider MetaMask, connect MetaMask if it's not connected, All good? Yeah, we can try to deploy that contract. We can see the gas here in XRP. Let's confirm. Okay, so it seems it worked for me. I've deployed my contract there, and I can see it appearing in deployed contracts here on the bottom left. Is that big enough for those at the end? I can make it bigger. Yep, so deployed contract there. Okay, so you don't have it.
No.
Okay.
Default workspace.
Okay. Contracts.
Okay.
Yeah, you can deploy the one you want, lock. That's basically just for a try. Then you can, of course, try at home later, like to write any kind of smart contract you want. What I know is that all the features that work on Ethereum or Polygon, they should work also here. So that's great. And now that I've deployed this smart contract, yeah?
You're just hitting this?
And make sure you have injected provider. Yeah,
I signed everything.
And it's there. You see, deployed contract.
Okay,
you have like
it is there. Okay.
You have a green dot here.
Yeah,
green
that's
dot.
what I couldn't find. Okay, great.
So that means there you have now the function which are here, where you can store the number and you can just retrieve the number. So it's just like set value and get value, basically. Yeah, it's just set value, get value. So I think by default the value is null or 0, yes. And if I type, I don't know, 1, I store the value. There is a transaction, okay, I need to pay some gas fee. So you see the gas fee here, 0.0001 XRP. I can confirm the transaction. It's pending there. And it has happened in a few seconds. So I entered the number 1, and if I want to retrieve the number, now at the bottom, I can see the number is 1. So the value has been changed in the smart contract, and everything works. All right, so that's basically what I wanted to show you regarding the deployment with Remix. I can quickly show you with Hardhat as well. That's something I've done. I don't think I will run the code, but I want to show you as well what I've done, so you have an idea how the Hardhat deployment would work. And again, I'm definitely not an expert in Hardhat, but I want to show you what I've been doing. So it's the same repo that we used in session 1, 2, and 3. So if you go to the apps directory, we have smart contract 1 there. So I've been using Hardhat, so there is like a specific command line that you can use to create a new Hardhat project using TypeScript. The way it works is it creates a contract directory, and in there you have the sol file. So I was just playing, again, the same like very simple program contracts that we just saw in Remix. It's more like a get message, set message thing, and then I was experimenting with calculate a sum, for example. You provide an array of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it calculates the sum. Some like basic things, but I just wanted to experiment myself. And then, so what I wanted to show you is the script. So you deploy the contract. So I was using the ethers function from the Hardhat library. Okay, so I'm going to deploy the contract called first contract. That's the way I named it in my first.sol file, this one. So we need to use the same name. So in the deploy first script, we use that name. Then we wait for deployment, and we get the address of the smart contract deployed. Okay. Actually, let me try to run that again. It's been a few weeks I haven't done that. Let me just see if I remember the command. Which one? npm run deploy. Hardhat deploy. Yeah. And I think yes, Hardhat deploy. And there is something else because in the Hardhat config.ts specify your networks. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I was defining my network. So there are two networks. The V1 we can forget. The V2 is the new one that I showed you earlier, and which is using the XLS38D standard. So in there you specify the RPC URL, chain ID, and the private key that is related to your account deploying the smart contract. All right, so let's start. So I think it's dash network and the name of the network, right? So EVM V2 in my case. Let's see if that works. It doesn't work. It's not the right command. Oh, because, wait, I need to first go into the right folder. Let's run that again. Unrecognized task deploy. Run. Script, yeah, there's an S, yeah. Compile 175 selects successfully. And this contract is deployed at this address. So that's how you could also use Hard Hat to deploy your smart contract. Do you have any questions regarding? Do you want to write this? Tell me if you want to take some pictures or if you want to write what I wrote. But basically, this information is the same as what we had in the Metamask network configuration. You know, same chain ID. The private, I can show you the private account key. The way you get it. Let me first. I mean, I see people are still looking at the screen, so I'm going to wait. Yes.
With which Explorer can I see my control?
Yes. So, did you add the network before?
Yes.
Yeah. So in there, if you go back to the network, you should see the Explorer URL if you wrote it. If not, I can again give it to you. I don't want to change the page yet if people are still looking at it. You got it? Yep. So it's a very different interface than what we saw before for xrpl.org or BitHump, but there you can query the sidechain and find your contract or find accounts and see the balances of that account. Yes, so I will show you quickly the private key how to get it. So you need to go back to your Metamask. Sidechain here, and then so we need to click. I think that's it's not. Yeah, click on the top drop down. You will have your account appearing. Then you need to click on the the breadcrumb. No, sorry, the hamburger icon. You have account details. Okay. Account details, and there you can export. Show the private key. You will need to enter the password of your MetaMask, and you can get that private key, put it, for example, in a .env file. I think I included in a .env.example. Yeah, .env.example. So you rename this to .env. You write the private key there, and then you'll be able to deploy the smart contract. Yeah. And of course, do not show the private key of your main account. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you regarding the EVM, and I really encourage you to try your smart contract that you've already written in the past on this sidechain and see if that works, see if everything behaves like on other networks. Do you have any questions regarding this? I mean, is everything working fine except for Aurélien so far? Yeah? All good? All right, okay. Great. So that was all for the EVM sidechain that I wanted to show you. I think we can move on to the next session. So the next thing I wanted to show you and work on is the XUMM application. XUMM application, so we had an introduction yesterday by the XUMM team. And as we did this morning, XUMM Wallet, I wanted to also give you another flavor of another wallet. Okay, XUMM is one of the most popular so far in the XRP ecosystem. So if you start building on the XRP ledger, you will, I think, encounter XUMM very quickly. And you'll probably want to interact with it because it's a very powerful wallet on your smartphone. And because everyone is using smartphone today, the adoption will be very, very quick, I believe. It's a very easy and powerful wallet. It supports all the transaction types that we saw on xrpl.org. So you can submit any transaction there. And the API's XUMM wallet will automatically submit the transaction to the ledger. Okay, so we are going to use XUMM wallet, and we are going to use the APIs of XUMM wallet. So first, so yesterday I asked you to install XUMM wallet. Do you all have it? Yeah? Yeah, so in the meantime, I'm going to connect my XUMM wallet as well, so you can see how it looks like on the screen. And first, we'll do some test payments before going into the code. And you will try to send me some XRP by scanning my QR code. So let me see if I can connect my phone and display it on my screen. So XUMM will store the private key in your phone, so you cannot access it.
For example, on my ledger, I cannot.
Okay, so let's go together through the installation import of an account inside XUMM. Okay, so bear with me. We'll go again to the faucet. We are going to generate a new credentials, generate keys. Okay. All right. Are you following? All good? We're going to import a new wallet inside XUMM, so generate a new credentials. We'll keep the secret actually. So here I have already an account. But what we need to do is go, well, in my case, in your case, maybe if the XUMM wallet is new, then you have a bigger button in the center with import an account. You go to the top right and you click accounts and add account. Okay, top right again, add account. Add account, and you should arrive on something like that. Either way, if you have a new XUMM wallet or if you have already an account and you did like me and you click on the top right. Yeah, you could also do this, but let's start with the faucet for now.
Okay.
I think, yeah, let's do it this way. Okay?
You create a new account with the faucet.
You create a new account using the faucet, so we'll do it together. Are you all on that page? All good? So import an existing account. You move on to full access. Okay, are you at this stage, full access? Click next. And there you have different options. We will choose the family seed because this is the information that we got from the faucet. Okay, so we copy the secret, the seed here, and we'll paste it into XUMM. So the way you can do it, you can send an email to yourself, or you can write a message, or as well you can create a QR code out of this secret. So let me do this. So we type QR code generator, create a free QR code, just a text. You enter your text, and in here you have the QR code that you can scan using XUMM. I can stop here a little bit if you want to do the same, or if you were able already to get your seed inside your phone. Tell me if you need help. Is everything okay there? All good? Aurélien, c'est bon?
Il est tombé en panne.
Ah, il est tombé en panne. Wait, I can generate. Get this one if you want. Get this one, and I'll get another one. Okay? Get this one. Tell me when you're good. Well, CX. So let's check CX for you. If we go back to the faucet, yeah, you see that's the correct one, right? MCX at the end. So that's good. Let me generate a new account for me. I'm going to recopy the secret. And I'm going to scan this one to have it in my phone. So let me share again my XUMM, family seed. Next, I click on the black icon. OK, the secret is there. Next, make sure that the public key is the one that you have on the faucet. Click confirm. The security, you can choose standard. Here it's like really testnet, and there's nothing to really protect actively. All good, everyone is there, standard. Next. So account label, you choose whatever label you want. So let's say demo session 2. Next. And hooray, the import is completed. Important thing, you may see that in your screen the account is not activated, so make sure to go at the bottom right in the settings, choose advanced, select the node, and make sure that one of the two testnet node is selected, not on mainnet, because we created it on testnet, the account. So one of them, it doesn't matter the one you choose. And then if you go back to the home screen, you should see that you have some XRP in there. All good? All right, so now what I want you to do is I'm going to show you my address and try to make a payment using XUMM to my address. So you click on the send blue button, and you make a payment of 1 XRP. It doesn't have to be a lot. Keep some XRP, even if they are for test. But take your wallet, click on the blue send button, scan my QR code, and send me a few XRP. And I will see them in my wallet. And then you will see you have a page summarizing your transaction. So did you see the transaction summary? And then if you go at the bottom, you can slide to the right. The transaction will be signed and submitted to the ledger. And after 3-4 seconds, I will receive the funds. So let's see if I've received anything. So events. Yeah, see, I've received a lot. Did someone send me 1,000 XRP? You? Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you. 200 as well. Oh, good, good. 0.1. Someone is not very generous. Huh? Okay. Okay. Does someone else want to try? I do this because I want you to get a grasp of what it is to use the XUMM wallet before we use the APIs.
You want more?
Yeah, let's do it. Give me more. Give me more. Let's do it again. Too generous. I can take your phone if you want as well. There. Is that okay? Let's see if I received more. 999. Okay, cool. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice. All right, so the black button at the center will allow you to do multiple things. The main one, I think, is the scan QR code. So every time, for example, when we'll interact with the APIs, we'll need to go to this center black button there, you know, and click on the scan QR code. So there, after that, you can just scan the QR code, and we'll see that later. But it will give you access to also some xApps that have been developed by third parties, by other people. So you see, for example, we have the on-off ramp. This is what the XUMM team was discussing yesterday. So you can easily buy and sell XRP using your bank account. So there will need to be like a KYC process for you to be verified and everything before you can buy. This is available through the Pro version. You have other options, the Tangent cards and everything. So I think you can expand as well. Yeah, no, that will be later. I will show you the xApps. You can expand the xApps, but if you're interested, also the XUMM Pro Beta is using, you need to use the mainnet. So you need to have an account activated on mainnet. Otherwise, it will not work. And xApps, so xApps, if you click on the fourth button at the bottom, you will see you have like different xApps available. I haven't personally used them a lot myself. The token creator is here to help you to, for example, set a trust line and issue a token. But you have plenty of them, and you can try them actually. I think the vanity address is pretty cool because it allows you to create an address using your name. So my name is Florent. I could want to have an address starting with Flo or Flo something, and that's why the script will try to find an address like that. So you have different xApps, and invite you to look at it. And then the settings where you can do multiple things. You can change the nodes. You can switch the accounts. You can change the security, etc. All good. Do you have any questions on the basic interaction with XUMM before we move on to the code? All good? Yeah? Okay, so now that's where we'll start using their API developer website that the team also mentioned yesterday. So on your laptop, go to xum.readme.io, and this is where we'll have all the documentation. So that's the website that you will definitely use if you want to build on XUMM. It has a lot of documentations. I refer to it a lot when I need to integrate with the APIs. And we'll start, I think, by going, let me double check, get started maybe, the XUMM developer console. So we need to go to apps.xum.dev. And this is where we'll be able to get, after that, some credentials to do some API calls. So let me know when you're there. When you're there, we need to go to the sign in with XUMM. And that's why I wanted to go through that process before with you to set up your account, to have it in testnet, and make sure you're all at the same page. So once you're there, you sign in with XUMM, click on the button, and you will see you will have a QR code opening. Signing with XUMM. So you have this QR code, and this is where we'll need to use. Let me show again let's see if I can show you where is my recording here. Yep. That's my phone. That's the QR code. I'm scanning the QR code here to log in, and that will use my public address. I'm sliding to accept. Signed. And I should be redirected on their website to a page. If the public address of my account is already associated with, already has some application, then I should have like a list or maybe a dashboard, I don't remember exactly. Otherwise, we need to create a new application. And by creating this new application, we'll get credentials, an API key, and an API secret. Okay, so create new application. You arrive on that page. This is where we need to enter some required information. So application name, let's say day 2 demo XUMM. An application description, write what you want. A very cool demo. The project homepage, you can write whatever you want for now. And anyway, you can edit that information later. So Here you can just type https demo.com, for example. Your support, you can use demo.com/support. Doesn't really matter. The email address. And the rest, I think, are not required, so we don't need that. We need to update a square logo as well for the app icon. I don't remember if I had something. Let me see. Yeah, let's see if I did, like in the design. I can send you some logo if you want. I'm going to take this one. Do you have a logo? So you can go to Google search. Otherwise, I can send them to you via the email. So let me know when you're there. When everything is completed, is entered, we can go and create the application. And this is where we receive the API key and the API secret to interact with XUMM APIs. Okay, so once you have there, make sure to save them. Save them somewhere safe. Here it's a test, so I mean, if you lose them, I think that's okay, but otherwise, save them somewhere safe. Let me see if I can find text edit. New document, API key, and API secret. Okay, did you save them? Did you save them somewhere? All good? After that, I think the API key, you will be able to still find it, but once we move to the next step, you will not be able to see it. You will need to regenerate a secret. So one thing we can do, is everyone okay? Yeah? Not too fast? One thing we can quickly do is try this curl command and see what we get. Let me go to my terminal. I'm stopping this. Pasting this. I'm just removing the Python command after that because I don't have the command, but you should have a JSON object responding to as a response that just shows you, I think, the name of the application. Yeah, you see the name and other information. Do you have that? Do you have all this? Is that okay? All right, so we are not going to create a project. I think we can reuse the project we used in session 1, right, with the XRPL.js session. So we'll do something actually similar. We'll create a client, and then we'll use that client to call some endpoints in XUMM, okay? And we'll get a QR code that will scan with our phone. So first, what we can do is we can go to the code. Let me reopen this. Okay, let's go back to the starter one. All right, and we have the .env file, and in there we can write the API key and the API secret in the .env. API key, API secret. Let me take them again. API key, API secret in my .env. So I think actually we need to install in the package.json some more dependencies. So let's go to, actually I had a XUMM, but let's take it there. So we need in the dependency the XUMM SDK version 1.8.6. So go to my XUMM app, go to the package.json, take XUMM SDK, and copy it into the starter package.json. Okay, so below XRPL, for example. And once you have this, at the root, for example, you can just click again on npm I, and we should reinstall everything, all the dependencies. No, I'm not going too fast, it's okay. I know it's a Friday afternoon, second session, sorry, second day. It's okay. So take the XUMM SDK dependency in my package.json from the XUMM app and copy it into the starter app. Okay, and you should have these dependencies, XRPL and XUMM SDK. Okay, so once you have added it in the package.json, again at the root of the project, you can run npm I just to make sure everything is okay. All the dependencies are installed. And then, so the same way as we created an XRPL client, we can do like a xum-client.ts file where we'll create the client, okay? So that will be very similar. Let's create in the source folder xum-client.ts. Okay, so we'll create the client. So let's say XUMM client, just to make sure not to mix with the XRPL.js client. And I think, so this one says SDK, XUMM client maybe. Let me check the imports from XUMM. Import from XUMM SDK. And here, do we have a XUMM SDK? Yes, that should be it. Let me quickly double check with what I've done before. Yeah, XUMM SDK, that's good. And I'm just copying this, oops. This. Once again, I'm just coming back. XUMM SDK, that's it, yeah. Very similar to what we did for the XRPL.js client, actually. Okay, so we don't forget to import the .env and to write .env.config to be able to read from the .env file. Same thing. So let's say we get a function, get some client, and so if we don't have the XUMM client yet, we can instantiate it. XUMM client equal new XUMM SDK, and in there we need to pass so the API key and API secret that we'll get from the process.env. Okay, so we can, for example, write like this: process.env.api key. Yeah, that's the key first. Process.env.api secret, and then we return the client. That big enough? Yeah. Make sure that in your .env file you don't have a space after the equal. All right, so now let's go back to our index.ts file. We will comment the main function, and I'm going to call that function main2, for example. And that's where we'll call the XUMM API. Maybe I think, let's see if we need that. And we call main2 here. Okay? So this one, the client we don't need. We can take some client, for example, equal get XUMM client. And we have it. So we can try to see if we can already interact with that. Let's say constant, for example, something. I'm not sure what I'm going to try. But the XUMM client, we can do probably a ping. Yeah, that's a promise, so we can await. And I think the ping is exactly the same as the curl command we did before. Let's see. So that's just say ping. Ping. Let me try to run this. Let's see if that works. Apps, I think starter, clear, npm start. Yeah, and that's exactly actually the curl command that we got before. So, looks good. Our client is working. So try to ping the XUMM app and see if you can get the JSON response with the correct name, for example, that you gave to your application. So this is a function for XRPL.js, and this is a function for XUMM. All right, you all got this like kind of JSON response? Yes? Yeah? Okay. All right, let's move on. So we can comment the ping. And let's see what the client offers us. So let's XUMM client dot, I think that's payload, yeah. So payload, we need to pass a payload, and the payload would be a payment payload or an NFT mint or a trust set or etc. So let's try to create that payload before. So payload, and XUMM gives us, I think, 3 different kinds of payloads. One, which is the normal JSON transaction that we would use in XRPL.js. And I think 2 other ones which are a bit more specific to XUMM. In the end, the functionality, I think the result will be the same, but there can be some differences, I mean, some end goals that are a little bit different depending on what payload you use. And I can tell you about this a bit later, but let's try to see what the SDK offers us. Import from XUMM SDK. If I start typing payload or payment, I think it's JSON. Let me check with what I didn't done before. Yeah, okay, it's a XUMM JSON transaction. Okay, so just XUMM JSON transaction. Let's do that. Never read, okay. Payload XUMM JSON transaction. And we'll need the destination. Okay, let me check again there. Destination, XUMM JSON. Oh, sorry, no, it's another import actually from XUMM SDK, dist source types. It's not directly exposed at the XUMM SDK level. So this, okay, that's better. Let's see if there is an autocomplete. Transaction type, so we'll do a payment, okay, and then destination. And a destination, so we can create another account with the faucet and paste it there. So I'm going to pause here for now. Just we'll let you write. Let me go up a little bit so you can see the import. The import here is a bit different, so XUMM SDK /dist/source/types. All right, so you create the payload. It's a XUMM JSON transaction. The transaction type will be a payment. It's going to do in the end what we did earlier when I was sharing my QR code, but we are going to do it with the APIs. Actually, something I could do, I can try to, again, give you my address of my XUMM, so you will all send me some more XRP. That'll be good. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Let's do that. So that is my address. I'm writing it for you here. Here it is, so if you want to send that to me. But myself, I will need to write another address, so let me quickly generate a new one. Address. And that's a new address that I generated with the faucet. Okay? Let me see, the payload, so the client here, it's payload create, sorry. Payload.create. Okay, so constant response. And yeah, I sent you my address if you want to send me some more XRP. One thing here is that I didn't specify the amount. So when XUMM will open, you will be able to define an amount by yourself. But if I include an amount here, then you will have to send the amount that is specified in the transaction, in the XUMM JSON transaction here. So it's quite flexible in that way. I think it's quite nice. You can either hard code the value, or you can let the users define what they want to send you. So I just want you to see the payload, okay, this payload. See how it looks, what the response looks like, how you interact with it, and how you sign with XUMM. So we have the payload, the transaction, the destination. Destination is an account I created on the faucet. All right, then you use the client to create a payload, and we'll log the response. And if everything works right, we'll get a JSON object that looks like this, with a UID, next always, and that's the always URL that you need to typically use, because that's the one that will contain the QR code that you need to scan with XUMM to then sign the transaction and submit it to the ledger. So if you click on it, on the always, next always, you will see that kind of interface appearing with a QR code. Let me try to reopen my smartphone on the screen so you can see what I see. New movie recording. That's Florent's iPhone. You see it. I'm opening XUMM. Okay, so that's all right. Let me show it to you. Yep. That's my phone right now. I'm going to click on the black button to open the QR code. And I'm going to scan this. That will open this kind of page of pop-ups where you have like the details of the transaction, the destination, the amount. That's where I can define my amount. You see you have like a small pen. So I want to send 100 XRP. I'm sliding to accept. And after a few seconds, the transaction is successful, and I've been debited of 100 XRP. Yeah? So it's the same process for all the other transactions, trust set, NFT, etc. You would need to scan the QR code. Something actually which is very nice that XUMM made is that we have a very specific transaction which is only XUMM related. It's not the XRP ledger related. It's called sign in. We have payment, we have NFT token create, etc. But there is one called sign in their system that allows them, you remember they talked about OAuth 2 yesterday, so that allows them to get your address, and then we can send a push notification to the mobile app. So basically the users, they don't even have to scan the QR code anymore on the screen. They just receive a notification, they type on it, and they accept. So there are plenty of features that XUMM provides also that makes the user experience better. Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you regarding XUMM. I hope you liked it. Wasn't too much. So if you go to XUMM, let me check XUMM. There are plenty of documentation, as I mentioned yesterday. Developers, tutorial. I see maybe here, sorry. App dev, XUMM developer console. No, it's not here, sorry. This one, get started. There is a tutorial for Node.js TypeScript. Yes, that's a good page actually that will then explain you how to use like this push notification. So they have 5 pages there. And in, I think, number 3 or 4, they explain how you can get the token related to your phone, to your app, that then you can use to push notifications. So this is the end of the session 4, where we talked about the EVM sidechain and the XUMM interaction. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope that was very useful for you. I'm very glad actually that you managed to connect to Metamask, to the sidechain, that you could manage to send the payload to the XUMM app. So congratulations everyone. Thank you for attending those 2 days, and thanks again.